Okay, so today's challenge comes from Rizlu's, and it's Die Rise Tramplesteam only. So it's pretty much a Die Rise, but I can't get any kills, at least kills that count towards the scoreboard. Because if you didn't know, kills with the Tramplesteam don't count towards the scoreboard, like that shows your downs and all that stuff. So pretty much I just have to try to kill with the Tramplesteam. And to actually get the Tramplesteam without killing any zombies, I'm just going to use the bank because, I mean, it's the most simple way. So I just go down this elevator and then jump to the other building. Use the bank to usually just get Jug because none of the other perks really do anything except for Quick Revive, and I just get that once I'm back near the Tramplesteam because I'm not using guns, so Speed Cola is useless, Double Tap's useless. Who's Who does something, but I'd honestly rather just not have it. And then obviously Mule Kick, I'm not using guns, so having a third gun would just be completely pointless because I'm not even allowed to use it. So pretty much I just go to the bank and get Jug. I honestly grabbed way too many points. I definitely didn't need that much, but this was my first attempt, so I didn't really know how much I was going to need. And I kind of grabbed it before realizing that half the perks were useless. So yeah, I grabbed like 15,000 or something, and I really didn't need that much. But I waited for the elevator for Jug and grabbed it, and then immediately went up an elevator to the roof before jumping back over to the main building that has Tramplesteam. And I built the one part that I did have and bought Quick Revive, and then I just need to take the Quick Revive elevator back up to spawn, grab the other parts, part switch them down to the floors to where they're by this buildable bench, and then I just built the Tramplesteam, and then after all that I can finally start killing zombies very slowly because I have to kill them with the Tramplesteam and they're all walking. So yeah, as you can see, these early rounds take a little while because I have to wait for the Tramplesteam to get fully back so it will kill the zombie. Then I have to take the slow walking zombie to the Tramplesteam. So I'm not going to show you round 2 at all because it's that exact same thing. No zombies are moving fast. I just have to set the Tramplesteam up and wait for them to slowly walk over. Round 3, I just got every zombie of the round and then was just going to see if the Tramplesteam could kill all of them at the same time because I don't really kill with it. And it can kill, I don't know the exact number, but it seems like maybe 3 or 4 at a time, but it'll spam launch them like that. So it can kill a lot with one Tramplesteam, but it's maybe 5 each little launch it does. And for these early rounds, it's literally just get all the zombies of the round together and just set the Tramplesteam up pretty much anywhere. No really specific spot you have to do, just don't let them break it. So yeah, just get all the zombies together and then stand behind the Tramplesteam and hope that none of them will just start breaking it without stepping on it, because that does happen sometimes, but not too often. And if it does, you can just immediately start picking it up and bringing it somewhere else before they break it. But even if they do break it, you're right next to the bench. And then here are the jumping jack rounds, another thing where you just stand behind the Tramplesteam. And you do get a free perk from these when doing this challenge because you're not shooting a gun. However, there's really no point in picking it up because, again, half the perks are useless. Who's Who, again, does something, but I would genuinely rather not have it. I'd rather just get up from Quick Revive than have to go into Who's Who and risk maybe dying, because if you die in Who's Who, your game fully ends, even if you have Quick Revive. And on this first attempt, I hadn't done any research to this challenge, so I was trying to figure out the best place to place it, and I figured out that this spot is absolutely not the best and is probably the worst. In my head, if I ran behind it in that corner, all of them would run into it and just die, but a couple ran to the side of it and just completely screwed me over, and I couldn't get out of the corner because I didn't have a Tramplesteam, and even if I did, there's no freaking way I'm placing a Tramplesteam and getting myself out of the corner. And also, this is when it hit me that I have the Tombstone perma perk, so I don't have to go buy the perks back. And also, if I was to have all 6 perks on the map, die, get revived with Quick Revive, I'd still have 5 and wouldn't be able to rebuy Quick Revive. So I was going to try to make sure I didn't pick up any free perks so that I could always make sure to actually buy Quick Revive once I go down. Because, I mean, I don't need half of them anyway, so there's no point in having them. And in this game, I still really hadn't figured out what the best area was to place down the Tramplesteam, so I was kind of just placing it in random spots and figuring out that most of the spots I was putting it in kind of sucked, especially this spot. Never put it in a corner. That was very dumb, and it caused me to die. Don't put your Tramplesteam in a corner if you're doing this challenge, because it is literally the dumbest thing you can possibly do. And while I show you me getting set up again to do this challenge, I want to talk about one of my friends on YouTube, it's Maple, who recently did Bus Depot Olympia only. And if you know anything about this channel, I'm a Bus Depot extraordinaire. So when I saw that, I was just amazed. And then in his video, he said if it got 100 likes, he would go for round 50 Olympia only, or at least try for it. So, as it stands, his video's at 13 likes, so if 87 of you would please go to his video and like it and sub to him, it would make him have to try for round 50 Olympia only, which would just be amazing. I'm going to tag his channel in the description. Please go like that video and get it to 100 likes, because round 50 Olympia only on Bus Depot needs to happen. And now to talk about this game. It was actually going pretty well. The only thing was the early rounds were still extremely slow, but I'm only using a Tramplesteam, so what can I really do? It's basically just set the thing down and let them run into it, except 90% of them are walking and take 5 minutes to get over to it, so the rounds are just insanely slow, but there's pretty much no risk. And then I also accidentally picked up Speed Cola from the jumping jacks, but it doesn't really matter unless I'm getting like all the perks, which I obviously don't want, because like I said, I have Tombstone perks, so if I get up and I don't have a perk slot to buy Quick Revive back, then I'm kind of screwed. And I was still doing the same dumb thing as last time of putting the Tramplesteam in like a corner, which I mean was working, but like it's just unnecessary to do. Realistically, you put it right there in that little doorway from room to room, but I hadn't figured that out yet, so I was still placing it in a corner, and half the times some zombies would just get straight past it, or it would just fling me, and so it's just dangerous. Don't put the thing in a corner. Despite me putting it in a corner, I was getting past round 8, which was already better than last time, so that's good, but I mean, round 8 is a pretty low round for basically any challenge, unless it's like melee only or something. So I was going on to round 9, which was another jumping jack round, which are really easy because you actually do just put it in a corner and stand behind it. And I grabbed the perk again, which was Mule Kick. Again, if I do go down, I'll lose everything but Quick Revive, so I'll still have a slot to buy it back, but like, still, it's just dumb to pick them up. So yeah, I also finally found the better place to place the Tramplesteam, which is right there. You kind of like don't place it fully in the doorway because sometimes you'll like get flung by it, but placing it right there and then just running into that room is the best place from at least my experience, just getting all the zombies to run straight onto it while you run into that room and are safe. And honestly, once I found the good spot to place it, this became pretty easy. I would just set it there, and if it was like kind of blocking the doorway, I would just run and jump over it so I didn't get flung by it, or I would just pick it back up and replace it, and it made these rounds pretty easily. I would just get the Horde like over here and then just run them straight over it, and it can kill like a full Horde with one Tramplesteam, but it only like flings like a couple, so it was honestly pretty good. I would just run them straight over it and be safe, and then just re-get the next horde together and do the same thing, because the spawns were pretty slow, so I mean the horde ups were really easy. Round 14 ended up being jumping jacks, which is just another easy round, except the last jumping jack of the round literally died like right on top of me and just instantly gave me the free perk. So now if I go down, I can't rebuy Quick Revive, and I also don't have Who's Who, so that's really bad. And also, I'm on round 15 now, which means I'm going to get the walking zombies. On round 15, it's only one, but later it'll become more, and those are really annoying. Also, I failed my jump right there and kind of got launched by the Tramplesteam, and then the zombies broke it. Happens occasionally, but most of the time I'll end up fine as long as it doesn't fling me straight into the horde. Unfortunately for me, that's exactly what it ended up doing next time. Flung me straight into the horde and got me stuck against the billable bench to take my first down, and I can't rebuy Quick Revive because I don't have a perk slot for it because I picked up the free perks from the stupid jumping jacks. So this game just went from great to horrible because now I'm going to have to play through to the next jumping jack round to even get a free revive, and it could be Who's Who, which in this area is absolutely not a free revive, because how am I going to revive myself without a gun in this tiny little area? I got through the rest of round 15 fine, but I'm not going to get another jumping jack round until round 18 or 19, so I need to play to that completely flawlessly and hope that I actually get quick revive and not who's who. And then on round 16, while doing the horde up, I was now getting 2 walking zombies per horde, which may not sound that annoying, but it can be very annoying when one blocks you completely right there and gets you killed on round 16. I absolutely hate the walking zombies. My hatred for them started on Bus Depot and it has carried over to Die Rise. Luckily, I got another game started because, the setup is pretty easy, and I had already grabbed a free perk from the jumping jacks by complete accident, but as long as I don't grab any more, it'll be fine. And when I got the jumping jacks again on round 11, I was careful this time and made sure to stand back from the Tramplesteam so the thing didn't die right on top of me, and I could dodge the free perk. And for anyone wondering, oh, while you have quick revive, why don't you get Who's Who? Because if I was to go into Who's Who and die, even if I had quick revive, that still kills you. The only way to get back is to either have quick revive while in Who's Who and just wait and it'll revive you, or revive yourself. And there's no way I'm going to be able to revive myself. Maybe I could, but I was not confident in my abilities to do that. And waiting and letting it use my quick revive would just be completely pointless. So I wasn't. And also, there's my first down. Who knows what happened there? I could have sworn I only got hit twice midair, but who knows, I guess. I just got flung and destroyed instantly. I was able to get quick revive back fine though, because it's literally in the elevator right here, and then get through round 15 without anything going bad. So I was already back to my PB, and it ended up being another jumping jack round, and I made sure to be careful again and not pick up the free perk. I would just run them to the Tramplesteam and then try to get away from it as it was going to die so I wouldn't get the perk. I almost picked it up. I grabbed the max ammo, which I thought was a perk, and I got scared, but it was actually just max ammo, so I was fine. And then round 17, again, went fine. The only time it seemed to go wrong was if I would get flung by the Tramplesteam, so I just needed to try to not do that. Luckily, I did not do that on round 18, and it went fine. However, I was having a lot of walking zombies now per horde, and those things were really annoying, not only because they slow down the round, but because they can just get in the way. And then on round 19, guess what I did? I got flung by the Tramplesteam, and you'll see how it goes. It never goes well. Ever. Luckily, I didn't die that time, but it was very, very close to happening. And, I could have sworn I was barely even on the thing. That thing just flings you sometimes when you're, just barely on the corner of it, so it is risky. You gotta make sure you're placing that thing perfectly, or just place it in the doorway and run over it before it's actually ready, because if you get flung, 9 times out of 10, you're screwed. And then on round 20, it was the jumping jack round, and I did the worst possible thing, picking up the free perk, and it was Who's Who. So basically, if I go down and go into Who's Who, I'm probably screwed, because there's no way I'm getting a horde together in this room with no jug. Even if I can just try to wait, I wasn't sure if I could do that, because if you have quick revive, you can wait and it'll just put you back to life. But can I even do that with no jug in this little area? It's kinda unlikely. So I was just hoping to play flawlessly, because I was not at all confident with Who's Who. I actually just hate that perk. But things were going pretty well. I was on round 22, and nothing bad was happening. I hadn't gotten flung by the Tramplesteam at all. I was just training, Tramplesteam, get a new one, and repeat. And then round 24 was jumping jacks, and I was really hoping to not pick up the free perk this time, because I'd already made that mistake. Unfortunately, I made that mistake again and got mule kick, so the perk situation was just getting worse and worse, but maybe I could clutch up in Who's Who if I went down. It's unlikely, but just maybe. Maybe I would just be good at the game for once and clutch up. But let's be honest, I would never be good at the game, because as soon as I went to use the Tramplesteam again, On 26, I got blocked by a ground spawn right after I'd used it and was going into Who's Who. My time to shine. All I need to do is clutch up and revive myself. And I was absolutely not even close. I pretty much instantly died as soon as I went into it. But you can look at the scoreboard. I had 0 kills, so you know I played legit. Round 26, Tramplesteam only. That's pretty good. And all that being said, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.